So we started the recording. Sorry. So in today's lecture, we'll be studying about Bootstrap, the basics of Bootstrap, what Bootstrap actually is, and how to use it. It is definitely one of the biggest CSS tools that we have right now, and it makes making website very easy, like literally very easy. All the tough tasks that you do, like making a nav bar, making a button, or anything else, Bootstrap makes it so easy to use them that you don't have to waste the hour also just coding up the button, then redirecting it, then going to the JavaScript and making it again so that it can take the value in. You can do that with Bootstrap. Bootstrap actually is the CSS library where a lot of CSS functions are there and a JS library too, that, in which we can use that to our code and make it more easy. It is easily customizable. It is used a lot. There are new options coming up, but definitely Bootstrap will stay for quite some time. So we'll start. Topics to be covered in this lecture are intro to Bootstrap, pretty simple, pretty easy. Then how we'll use Bootstrap actually. Is somebody not on mute, please? Okay, so we'll be linking Bootstrap CSS and JavaScript to our files. Usually, what we do is we use CDN to link Bootstrap to our code, and directly it can fetch the data from the web and use it on our sites. CDN is a content delivery network that takes data from one site and displays it on another. Then we can also use the minified version of the CSS and JavaScript. We can download those bundles and link them internally in a file and save a local copy of that whole Bootstrap function. It's pretty big, so I'll suggest not to do so, but I'll definitely teach about it. Then we'll learn more about containers, what are containers, what exactly does container do in a site. Then introduction to Bootstrap Grid, one of the biggest thing about Bootstrap, that is Bootstrap Grid. And the last thing would be breakpoints and responsiveness. The session would be about an hour long, so it would be pretty interesting. Let's start. So what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is actually a framework which helps you design websites using their custom CSS that they have and which we can use to our benefit and customize it to our own level. You can understand Bootstrap as a .css file, links stored somewhere in the cloud, which you can, if you need a CSS file, you just write its class, and all of its attributes are passed into your HTML tag, and it gets easily customized. If you want to customize it more than that, then you can just introduce a new class and go ahead. So Bootstrap makes making sites very easy, very smooth, and very fast. It's one of the most efficient CSS libraries out there. There are others like Tailwind CSS, but definitely Bootstrap has been there for a long time, and it is very interesting. So getting started with Bootstrap. First, we download the Bootstrap file, and then I'll also tell you how to link them. So first, we simply go to the Bootstrap documents, which you can easily search for
Excuse me,
just
sir.
Bootstrap.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, do we have to have prior knowledge about HTML and CSS to do this?
Uh, Basic like HTML2 is important for Bootstrap, but basic CSS would definitely help you a lot. So it is not a prerequisite, but having that knowledge would help you a lot.
Okay, sir.
If you did not attend the lecture, the videos are uploaded on our YouTube channel. You can check them out there.
All right, sir.
So you can search Get Bootstrap, and the first result that comes up is the official Bootstrap site, getbootstrap.com. You go there, and it will tell you about if you're using it on frameworks like JavaScript frameworks, then you can use this NPM system or the Gatsby system. Besides that, you can go to the docs file. Docs are where all the documentation about the project is there, everything about Bootstrap. You can find everything about Bootstrap in this link. So first we'll start with the linking. This link can be used, the link HRF tag, which will take you to the CDN JS deliver, CDN, the content delivery network, and it can be linked. Please use it. Sorry for the trouble. Actually, I'm sitting in the library. Sorry for the trouble. I was in the library, so there's a bit of a here. Not a big problem. So we can copy the file from here, the link tag of the content delivery network where the Bootstrap is stored. We copy it and then go to our VS Code file and just link it like we link our CSS. We can link this to the center. Boom. So we have Bootstrap on our VS Code. It's pretty easy and really spot on. It works fluently with everything. You just have to make sure that you're using the version that you need. Like someone mentioned at the beginning of the class, we are learning Bootstrap 3, 4, or 5. Each version has some different styles, different upgradations from the last one. So knowing the latest one helps a lot because when you'd be working in a team, everybody would be using a different version of the same file. It would make it tough. So try to learn the Bootstrap 5 version. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So right now we have the Bootstrap CSS linked to our HTML and we don't need to use anything else. But what we can do is we also can use the JavaScript. JavaScript is the file that we have to link in the body tag. It cannot be linked like CSS in the head tag. We go to the body tag, go to the last line of the body tag, and just above it, we paste the script. And boom, we have the Bootstrap JS also linked to our whole system. This is pretty straightforward, but if we want that downloaded file, that local version, if we are not having internet connection and cannot use that CDN system, what we can do is we can just go to the getting started and go to download section. Here we can download the minified version of the CSS. Minified means a smaller version of the whole system, which can be locally stored on your device, and you can use it if you are not having any internet or network problems. So we can just go ahead and download it. It's a small file. It's a zip. Then we will extract on. So this JS file, the distributable file is here, where the CSS is stored. Everything about the CSS that is in Bootstrap, and everything about JavaScript. What we can do is we can just copy these two folders and go here, go back to the file where we have stored our lecture. We go here and just paste them here. So we have the CSS and JS file. And then how we normally link our CSS or JavaScript in our HTML code, we can do that. It is pretty straightforward. Just copy this, go here, CSS folder, and boom, your links. Whichever file you want to use, you want to use. Yes.
Sir, tell us about how you downloaded it again.
Okay, sure. So you go to the getbootstrap.com, then go to docs. Here you can, in the getting started section, you can find the downloads section. Click on it. You get a compiled CSS and JS section. Here, the whole CSS has been minified or made into a smaller package and is made into a zip file, and then you can just click download button. It will be downloaded onto your local device. Extract it and use it as you please.
So where we have to copy the CSS and JS file?
Well, because you have to specify a folder for your HTML file where you can find the CSS or JS. So bringing it closest to the index, like I'm working in the lecture document. As you can see, my index HTML is here, my styles is here, all the images that I'm using are here, my VS Code settings are here, and I just link the CSS and JS from Bootstrap. They are also here. It makes finding the files pretty easy. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you can use those. Now I have a stable internet connection and I have already linked the styles and the JS file from Bootstrap. So we can go ahead with it. This is the basic structure. This is how you link CSS, and I would suggest that you use CDN because you won't have the time or the storage every time to copy the whole CSS file or the JS file and then move on with it. So I would suggest that you should try the CDN one. Now we'll study more about the interesting part about Bootstrap. That is containers. No, we'll first go with Bootstrap Grid. Bootstrap Grid, like we told you about Flexbox systems, the CSS layouts that we studied. There's something called a Bootstrap Grid. Suppose you have a screen of this size. You have a screen. Now I want Is anybody saying anything? If you have any doubts, go ahead. Like we have a lot of time on our hands. Okay, so I'll take that as a no, and we'll continue with it. So you have a screen of this size of 860 pixels by 369. What we want is that our content should be equally aligned, everything should be centered. If I increase my screen size from this to this, and also I want my content to be in center out here. Now, if we use normal CSS, we have to make a flex box and define that it should be in the center and it should use justify content space around. Everything should be in center. Then we have to wrap it in a separate div, and then we have to make sure that that div is in center every time we use it. Well, using containers makes it a lot easier. Suppose this is your, wait, I'll just take it here. And about maker div, this is our main content div for this side. It is in the center, and we can just resize it to our liking. This would be the container in your normal screen size. Like the content is being displayed. Suppose the gray box is the content that you want to display to your client. This is it. But if your client is having a 85-inch monitor, 120 hertz, super wide, super big monitor on his hands, will you use that whole screen? Will you be able to use that whole screen? Do you want him to look from left to right just to see your whole site, seeing everything zoomed in? That would not be interesting. So what we do is we introduce containers which make fixed padding systems for the whole system. As you can see, the rectangle here is having a padding of rectangle's length is 855. Just you can do is make it a bit bigger so that you can see it clearly. So what the container does is that it makes the left and right padding absolute for all the screen size, starting from smallest screen size to the largest LG. It gives the whole parent div, the whole HTML body content, everything in it, a small amount of padding so that everything stays in center. When you're starting from the smallest screen size, that was this, it would have a padding of 1 or 2 pixels. But when you go on and increase your screen size, the screen size increases, the content would increase for a bit, suppose for this amount. After that, when it reaches a particular limit, we don't want it to go beyond that. It starts making the viewport, the whole screen bigger, but the content that you're displaying would be in center, would be of the same size that it was for the last breakpoint. So what are breakpoints? Does anybody have any idea, like, what do you feel about breakpoints? What does this word mean?
Sir, breakpoints are the points where the file's executed and then stops that point.
Close enough. Well, breakpoints are the width. Breakpoints are a keyword in the web development domain. It define the width of the screen that we are using. If we are using a mobile screen, suppose we are using an iPhone 13 Pro Max, so its breakpoint would be 390 pixels. So there are general breakpoints that we use in our system that are 595, 962, 1200, 1400, 2100. The last one is 2100. After that, it goes to 4K, and that won't be covered in Bootstrap. So breakpoints define the screen size, and at the for that screen size, these CSS properties should work with. So this is what breakpoints are, and for different screen size, there are different breakpoints, which you can check them out at Bootstrap Docs. You go here and search for Bootstrap breakpoints in Bootstrap. You go here and boom, you'll have all the breakpoints starting from extra small to small, then medium, large, extra large, extra extra large. Extra extra large is the normal screen size that you have for a 21-inch 1080p laptop. So extra extra large. This is the largest breakpoint. After that, what it will do is align the content center like it showed you. The screen size would increase. Suppose we are having a 4100 pixel width, and the screen was increased. It would become like super long. It would wrap around the person. data content, it would be in center. Now, this is what a normal container does. A container that we use with this property. Want to declare a div, we make a div, then give it a class and make it as container. This is a container, a normal container in Bootstrap, which keeps the content in center with a small amount of padding every time you use it. What suppose I give it a large amount of data, and we give it inline CSS and give it a background color. Okay, so we have a div and the size is fixed. We can give it size so, and height 100%. Okay, so we'll go live with this. So what do we have here in the start background color styles? Okay, it should work 100%, 100%. So we'll inspect it and check out what the problem actually is. We go here and we have linked the thing. Okay. So did not change color. Give me a second. There's not a problem here. Okay. So as you can see, we just gave it some content and everything is in center. Now what I'll do is I'll just decrease the screen size. You see the div is I gave the width the whole div the width of 100% and height of 100% as much data as it can take. But it is not taking 100%. It is having some amount of padding. Like Shreyansh taught you about the border box, the box system in CSS. You can see it has a padding of 12 pixels and it has a margin of 27 pixels, which in turn make the whole system fixed. Now, when we go beyond a particular breakpoint that was 500 pixels, you can see it will take the whole width and everything. It won't waste any space because our phones have a smaller screen size and wasting any amount of those that would be definitely bad. We can increase the screen size. We can go beyond 1400 or anything. So it is on 960 and go to any size. It will stop increasing after that. As you can see, it will stop increasing. But when you come to a particular screen size, it will start decreasing its size again. So this is what a normal container does. And okay, so this is what a normal container does in Bootstrap. There are other containers too. The other container that we are going to study about is the container fluid. Now, container fluids are a more general term. Container fluids are used to wrap the whole div into a single page, so there's no overflow or anything. It would take the whole viewport size, the whole screen that you're seeing. It would take everything in it. Everything in your like the whole bit would be used. It won't give any extra space left behind. Like we are having a padding of one margin of 120 pixels, approximately 120 pixels, and a padding of 12 pixels. Like we can go here and just add a small keyword behind it, which would make it container fluid. If you go here and boom, it would take 100% width at all times, no matter what the screen size is. 100% means 100%. This is the container fluid. Now, a few minutes before I told you about breakpoints. There are special type of containers too, where we can define the breakpoints. Container SM, the small one, container medium, container large, container extra large, container extra large. So all these containers have special properties. When you write container SM, the particular breakpoint, it would take 100% width in that container, that width. But after that, it won't. It would turn into a normal container that we are using. So if I use container LG in our code, I go here and remove the fluid behind it and write LG. What would happen? See, the thing was when we go, when the screen size is less than LG, LG is about 980. You can see here LG 960 pixels. So 992, after 992, it won't work. But it would, the container LG would become a normal container. And after a particular screen size, it would stop increasing its size. This is a container LG. And you can write any one of those. Like you can use container L, you can do empty, anything. When we go beyond 992, we have container MD, and we have already seen container SM because it's the default case. This is what containers are in Bootstrap, and this is you will use it a lot if you want to make a page look like a single page website, which does not have any overflow, which does not let any content leak out, and the container would fit in the screen size of any user. This is what a container will do for you. Now we'll check out the Bootstrap grid. So Bootstrap grid can be seen as okay. So we'll check out what is container grid is. We'll delete everything that we have here. Let's make a new layer to edit. You could stop and MacBook Pro. Okay, cool. Go here. This is your normal screen size. Now you want to define some declarative theme, declarative size that you don't want to declare again and again in the slides, making a
Sir,
separate class. Yes.
sir, if you add margin and padding in case of container flood, will it work?
Yes, it would work. It won't have any kind of problem, but then you can use a normal container for it. Not a good practice, but yes, you can do it. Hello.
Okay, sir.
So suppose this is your screen. We are having this screen, and you don't want to declare a new class for it. You don't want to make a new class. Am I audible? Is my audio breaking?
It's kind of noisy. It's not totally clear.
Okay. Feel free to interrupt me if you cannot hear anything. Okay.
And voice
Is it
is
better now?
not so smooth. Something is wrong with your headphones or microphone.
Okay, just let me check. Is it better now? Hello.
Yes, sir, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
sir.
I'll try to speak a bit more louder from now on. I don't know. We're facing some network trouble over here. It rained a lot yesterday. So we have our system here. Have a whole screen here. Suppose this is a screen. And we don't want to declare styles every time we want to have a fixed weight. Want to have a fixed container. Or we want to have a size that changes but does not change a lot. That's when the grid system comes in. You can introduce a layout grid. It would look something like this. And the size would be so what a CSS grid is, what Bootstrap grid is, it makes the whole screen divided into 12 equal parts. It can be row, it can be columns. Usually we use columns because row you scroll a page in a vertical manner. So defining a row-wise width would make it a bit tough to operate. So what we do is we declare some sizes in it. If we want it to have a bigger display, like we have container MD here, what we can do is write col for columns or row for rows. Then what we can do is declare the breakpoint that we want it to be in. For col MD12 means for the media query of the size 566 pixels or above. What it will do is make 12 columns of separate sizes. We declare 12, it would take up the whole screen size. I removed it and I have declared 12 here. Take all the 12 columns that we have here. But if I make it 6, what it will do is it would try to make it smaller. Just a second. Okay. The problem here is when we are using these columns, we need to have a parent div because the Flexbox works for a parent div. What it does is makes the whole div divided into 12 separate parts. Now, we cannot use it directly on the body because body is not a part of our div container or the viewport that we are using. It is just the place where we can place all our divs. So what we do is we copy this code, we make a separate div, and give it a class of containers, which would make it of particular screen sizes container. And in that, we'll add a code. So as you can see, I've declared code MD6. When we go to that screen size, it would start making 12 different columns or 6 different columns for it. 6 means 50%, 4 means 25%, and so on. 3 means 25%, 4 means 33%, 33.33. So on. There are 12 separate columns. We cannot go more than 12. We can go less than 12, but it won't work because you have to define a size where it would be set up. So these are the grids that we have in our Bootstrap. You can use it in various different manners. You want a container to have a width of 60%, then you can take the 60% of 12 and declare it in that manner. A key point to remember is that they are integers like col1, col2, col3, col4, col5, and so on to col12. Not more than that, not less than that. These are a Bootstrap grids, and they help in making your layout a bit more simpler. Is anybody having any doubt or something? Any problem? Hello, am I audible? Is my voice breaking or anything? Guys, are you sleeping? Like,
Yes,
are you
sir,
awake?
you are audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So, like I told you, there are 12 different sets. This is your parent div. Suppose this is your whole parent div that you are having. Okay. You can see if we declare col MD12 for it, it would take 12 separate columns here in this flexbox system. But if I give it col MD4, then it would take 4 columns from here and use it up for itself. Col MD4 and give others col MD8 or col MD6, col MD2. Then also it would have the same problem. Is that it would take that particular section of the flexbox and use it for its whole width. That would become its parent div without having to declare it going into the styles and writing a class. Like you have to take 33%, 33.33% exactly for the whole system. Okay. If I declare col MD6, it would take 50%, and if I declare col MD12, the whole div would be covered with it. And a small point to remember is that these grids have a small gutter kind of system there in between them. A small space, like I showed you in the CSS grids model, where you have to declare the padding and grid between them. What Bootstrap has is called gutter. What gutter is the space between two divs, like you have span 1 and span 2. The space between these two is called the gutter. The space between these two is called the gutter where no data can be added, no content can be added. It is the padding, it would be there. You can explicitly remove it, but the solutions that you would get from it are not that great. So we covered breakpoints, we covered the Bootstrap grid, we covered containers, and we downloaded the bundles. We linked them to our HTML files, and these are the breakpoints. They are available on the Get Bootstrap docs file, and you can use them whenever you want. So the session would be this long only. Do you have any doubts, anything from this session, the last session, anything, or could not understand anything, something was not clear?
So can you show us again how to link CSS and JS, the folders
Uh,
in our VS Code?
the folders or the CDN, like the internet one, or
So
the offline one?
the folders, where to place them?
They are like you link your normal CSS. Suppose you don't want to use your CSS. First, you check out the file where it is. This is a file. We know it is the folder in which the CSS is stored is on the same level as the HTML file that we are using. And we'll see which file do you want to use, bootstrap.css. Okay. So what we will do is we will first write the dot container showing that start from the folder that from I belong to. The whole HTML is in lecture. So start from that folder. Then we'll select the folder. Which folder do we want? Which file do we want to link as a style sheet? We want the CSS folder, the bootstrap file that is in the CSS. And then we want the bootstrap, only the bootstrap.css. And boom, the whole bootstrap is linked. Similarly for JS, what you can do is remove the SRC and we go to the JS and bootstrap.js. Done. This is how you link the whole system.
Okay, sir. Now
This
I
is
get it.
this would help you a lot if you're traveling, like if you're traveling from one place to another and you have to work on a file. You just download the Bootstrap minified version on your system and use it whenever necessary. Okay, anybody else? Like, you have any doubt? Or anything? So, guys, I forgot to tell you a small thing. Suppose this is your div. You declared it to take 6 columns here. Okay, six. How many are there? One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 columns. We wanted 7 columns. Now, what we want to do is that we want a separate grid div. What we can do is we can just make a frame. Like we can make the whole div in our div itself. Then give it 12 columns again. Suppose this is a frame, and you can then add 12 columns in it. Like you have added in the main div, the container div that we are having here. You added 12 columns here. In this div, we made another div and gave it a class of all MD6 and we should link it. So we made a div and then added a colMD6 in between it. So what will happen is that when we are using the whole div system, it would then divide this new div that is having 12 columns in it again with a 6 column model. And we can do it indefinitely. Like we can go from 12 to 6, then 6 to 3, then 3 to in that whole colMD3, we can go to colMD12, which would take all the 3 columns, but with a number of 12. This whole system makes making tables or designing a whole system with checkboxes very easy. This might be a bit confusing for you for the first time, but when you try it, when you use it again and again, then it will become easy. कोई डाउट मतलब बिल्कुल कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आ रहा है काफी लोगों ने लीव भी कर दिया समझ में नहीं आया तो बता दो मतलब कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो लैंग्वेज प्रॉब्लम रही हो या फिर कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया तो मेरे को बता दो मैं फिर से एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा
एक बार फिर से कॉल देख लेते हैं। देखो, सबसे पहले हमने क्या किया, एक पेरेंट डिव बनाई, उसको हमने एक क्लास दी कंटेनर, जिसके कंटेनर फ्लूइड दे दी। उसने क्या किया, पूरी जो हमारी स्क्रीन थी उसकी पूरी विड्थ को इस्तेमाल वो कर सकता है। अब कॉल जब हमने डिफाइन किया तो हमने पूरी स्क्रीन को 12 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर दिया। ठीक, अब मैं चाहता हूँ कि उन 12 पार्ट्स में से पहले 6 पार्ट्स का यूज करके पहले 6 पार्ट का यूज करूँ। ठीक, अब मैंने उन पहले 6 पार्ट्स को उठाया। अब मुझे उसके अंदर 2 अलग-अलग आइकन डालने हैं या 2 अलग-अलग कार्ड्स बनाने हैं। तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि पहला कार्ड्स इस उस कॉल 6 का 50% ले और दूसरा कार्ड बाकी 50% ले। तो उसके अंदर जो कॉल 6 है वो अगेन कॉल 12 में डिवाइड हो जाएगा। ठीक, मतलब लेयर बाय लेयर वो हमेशा कॉल 12 में डिवाइड होता जाएगा हर एक कंटेनर। हम अगर 4 भी लेते हैं तो फिर वो फर्दर 12 में डिवाइड होता है। उसके बाद फिर अगर हम 4 के अंदर कॉल 2 करते हैं तो फिर 12 में डिवाइड होकर कॉल 2 वाली जो स्पेस होती है वो लेता। एनी डाउट या कुछ, हाँ ना कुछ भी, कोई रिस्पॉन्स या सब सो गए?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
नो
समझ में
डाउट
आया? कोई समझा सकता है? एनीवन हियर?
चिंता मत करो हम लोग लोगों को मतलब
सर
पूछेंगे नहीं ऐसे ऐसे नहीं है
सर एक और टैग है स्क्रीन रेस्पॉन्सिवनेस के लिए, तो एक @media स्क्रीन है, तो वो कब यूज़ करें और इसे कब यूज़ करें? @media स्क्रीन वाला टैग
जो @media query वाला टैग था जो तुमने यूज किया था अपने CSS वाली फाइल में उसी का इजी वर्जन है। अब सोचो तुम्हें एक स्क्रीन साइज के लिए डिक्लेयर करना पड़ रहा है फिर तुम्हें दूसरी स्क्रीन साइज के लिए डिक्लेयर करना पड़ रहा है फिर तीसरी स्क्रीन साइज के लिए करना पड़ रहा है हर स्क्रीन साइज के लिए तुम क्या CSS लिखने के लिए रेडी हो? क्या तुम्हारे पास इतना टाइम है, या फिर तुम एक बड़े प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर रहे हो जिसमें हजारों लाइंस का कोड है और तुम्हें चेंज करने हैं छोटे मोटे चेंजेस, तो तुम पूरे सब टैग्स के लिए जो भी 1000 लाइंस में थे उनसे सब टैग्स के लिए दोबारा CSS लिखना प्रेफर करोगे, या फिर तुम सिंपल सा एक नीचे जो भी आपका डिप्रा है उसमें एक नई क्लास ऐड कर दो? क्या
यस
प्रेफर
सर।
करोगे? तो ओवरऑल CSS को ऐसे समझो कि जो बूटस्ट्रैप की CSS है वो करती क्या है, खुद की CSS उन्होंने बना दी है हर एक छोटी से छोटी चीज को। हर एक चीज को, जैसे उन्होंने जो बटन बनाया है उसको भी डिक्लेयर किया है, उसकी सब कुछ एक कॉल बनाया है, एक पैडिंग बनाई है, मार्जिन बनाई है, सब बनाया है, उन सबको एक छोटे से छोटे हर एक क्लास को बना दिया है और फिर उसको ऐड कर दिया है। और CSS में हमारे पास एडवांटेज होती है कि अगर हम लोगों को कोई भी क्लास यूज करनी है, मैं चाहता तो यहाँ पे कुछ भी यूज कर सकता हूँ, जैसे मैं चाहूँ तो यहाँ पे बीजी कलर यहीं से डिक्लेयर कर दूँ, बीजी ब्लैक, तो अपने आप कलर चेंज हो जाएगा। तो ये बूटस्ट्रैप करती है कि एक बड़ी सी CSS फाइल बना दी है, बहुत बड़ी सी, जिसमें सब कुछ है, छोटे मोटे चेंजेस जो आप वहाँ करोगे वो रिफ्लेक्ट होंगे।
जैसे देखो, अगर खाना तो यहाँ सब लोग खाते हैं, तुम्हें कोई सब्जी बनानी है, उसके लिए तुम्हें कुछ चाहिए, वेजिटेबल चाहिए, तुम दो तरीके, या तो उसको घर पर उगा लो या तो जाके मार्केट से खरीद लो। तो घर पर उगाने शुरू करोगे तुम्हें टाइम लगेगा, ठीक, और बहुत सारे रिक्वायरमेंट्स भी हैं फील्ड की, तो फिर तुम्हारी मेहनत भी लगेगी। इससे अच्छा जाओ मार्केट खरीद लो, ठीक। तो जो हम CSS खुद टाइप करते हैं उसको समझो कि हम गोभी उगा रहे हैं, या जो बूटस्ट्रैप है वो हमें बनी बनाई मार्केट से जाके बस उठा के इस्तेमाल कर लेनी है। बूटस्ट्रैप में हर एक चीज़ें डिफाइन है, तुम्हें जाना है, एक्सप्लोर करना है कि इस कंट क्लास को अगर हम अपने में इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो उससे क्या होगा। जैसे कंटेनर है, उसको इस्तेमाल करने पर एक फिक्स फ्लूइड डिफाइन हो जाती है हमारे व्यू की स्क्रीन पर। कंटेनर फ्लूइड से वो पूरी स्क्रीन ले लेता है। इस तरह और भी कंपोनेंट्स आते हैं, कार्ड्स है, नैव बार है, ऑफ कैनवास है, और बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं। और तो और अगर हम बूटस्ट्रैप इस्तेमाल करते हैं अपनी में, तो चीज़ें काफ़ी आसान हो जाती हैं, जो हमारी साइट है वो रिस्पॉन्सिव जल्दी हो जाती है। बूटस्ट्रैप तुम्हारे रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस का भी ध्यान रखता है। अगर बूटस्ट्रैप कार्ड्स हम इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं और फिर हम अपनी स्क्रीन साइज छोटी होती जाए, तो वो कार्ड्स खुद को इस तरह से अरेंज कर लेते हैं कि स्मॉल स्क्रीन साइज में भी वो तुम्हें परफेक्ट व्यू दें।
भाई कोई भी डाउट हो किसी भी तरीके का तो मना नहीं है, आराम से फ्री होकर पूछने के लिए कि अगर अभी नहीं पूछ सकोगे तो कैसे होगा। और किसी को अगर इंस्टा या फेसबुक से कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, मतलब रिप्लाई नहीं मिल रहा है, कहीं भी रिप्लाई तो तुरंत मिल जाएगा, तो हम लोग अपने व्हाट्सएप नंबर अभी चैट में डाल देंगे, वहाँ से किसी को भी आप चाहो तो मैसेज।
और वन मोर थिंग, हर एक चीज़ें क्लब के इंस्टाग्राम पेज पर आस्क करना इज नॉट अ गुड थिंग। तुम इंडिविजुअली मैसेज कर सकते हो, हम 5 में से किसी को, हमारे इंस्टाग्राम फेसबुक सब कुछ है, सब जगह है हम लोग। हर चीज़ क्लब के हैंडल पर पूछना नहीं, वो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशंस के पास भी वो हैंडल है। तो वी डोंट लाइक that any administration will tackle or interfere in our work.
भाई सीन क्या होता है कि जो क्लब का स्मूथ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन होता है उससे होता है, क्योंकि जो हमारी पूरी फैमिली है उस क्लब की जो भी पूरा क्रू है वो आराम से एक दूसरे के साथ इंटरेक्ट कर पाता है। तो आपको कोई भी अगर किसी भी टाइप की प्रॉब्लम होती है, आप क्लब के पेज पे डालोगे तो जो हमारे अनु कदम सर है या फिर हमारा कॉलेज का स्टाफ है, हमारी टीम है, वो लोग देखेंगे तो वो खुद उनको लगेगा कि हम कोई भी अच्छे से काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी आगे नहीं हो रहा है। तो सीन यही होता है, अगर आप कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होती है, आप AITUSS की साइट पे जाओ, क्लब मेंबर्स के पेज पे जाओ, वहाँ सबके इंस्टा लिंक है, डायरेक्टली आप वहाँ से मैसेज कर सकते हो। नहीं तो मैं भी अभी सबके नंबर यहाँ पे डाल देता हूँ, सब लोगों को किसी को किसी से भी डाउट हो तो आप यहाँ पे हम लोगों को मैसेज करके डाल सकते हो।
क्लब से रिलेटेड एकेडमिक डाउट हो, कोई भी डाउट हो तो पर्सनली मैसेज कर सकते हो। तुम्हें बैचमेट से नंबर मिल जाएंगे, नंबर ढूंढो, इंस्टा पे तुम्हें मिल जाएगा, कोई भी मैसेज करो, ऐसा कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है। बट एक ही जगह मैसेज करोगे तो रिस्पॉन्स देना मुश्किल हो जाता है। बाकी डाउट्स है तो जल्दी से पूछ लो, क्लास तो ऑलमोस्ट ओवर हो चुकी है।
और गाइस आज इंस्टा पे थोड़ा सा एक्टिव रहना, एक स्पेशल पोस्ट आने वाली है, काफी इंटरेस्टिंग पोस्ट होने वाली है, देखते रहना।
यस सर।
हम लोग जो इवेंट आप लोगों के लिए प्लान कर रहे थे ना, वो काफी ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग इवेंट है, पर थोड़ा सा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वैसे डिले आया था, तो वो जल्दी सॉर्ट हो जाएगा और आपको अपडेट्स मिल जाएंगी पूरी पूरी।
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
यस
सर मेरी लास्ट 2 क्लासेस छूट गई थी, इसीलिए मुझे आज की क्लास समझ में नहीं आई है और मैं ये नहीं जान पा रहा हूँ मैं बूटस्ट्रैप यूज़ क्यों कर रहा हूँ।
अच्छा ठीक है, तो ये काफी सिंपल सा है। देखो लास्ट की 2 क्लासेस में हम लोगों ने कवर किया था सीएसएस क्या होती है, कैसे कवर करती है, कैसे यूज करते हैं पूरा सिस्टम वगैरह, है ना। वो तुम चाहो तो यूट्यूब का जो हमारा यूट्यूब चैनल है आईटी, वहाँ पे जाके देख सकते हो। तो आज वाली बूटस्ट्रैप में हमने ये बताया कि वो सीएसएस का एक अच्छा अल्टरनेटिव क्या हो सकता है, कि हम आराम से क्या कर सकते हैं। पूरी सीएसएस देखने की जगह मैं जाता हूँ बूटस्ट्रैप में, मेरे लिए पहले से कुछ बना के रखा है, वहाँ से सामान उठाता हूँ और अपने कोड में डाल देता हूँ। फिर उसमें अगर मेरे को बॉर्डर चेंज करनी है, कलर चेंज।
सॉरी सर, सर आप ऑडिबल नहीं है सही से।
अच्छा
सर
अभी
आज
आवाज
सीरियसली मतलब यू आर नॉट सो स्मूथ इन द वॉइस, पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा आज ही हो रहा है।
सर आई थिंक माइक इज सो फार अवे फ्रॉम योर माउथ।
सर मैंने 3 डिवाइस भी चेंज कर लिया आज की क्लास में, लेकिन तभी भी यही वॉइस प्रॉब्लम है।
देखो सीन क्या हुआ है, पुणे में 2 दिन को बहुत ज्यादा तेज बारिश हुई थी, तब काफी ज्यादा। तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है। मैं ट्राई करता हूँ, हमारा जो सेशन का रिकॉर्ड हुआ है उसमें ऑडियो क्लियर होगी। अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है आज सच पता चलती है तो हम लोग दोबारा सेशन ले लेंगे, लेकिन कोई भी डाउट हो, कुछ भी जो भी समझ में नहीं आया, जहाँ पे भी ऑडियो लग रही थी ब्रेक हुई है, तो बता दो, मैं भी देख लूंगा।
So sir, you was telling about why we were using bootstrap.
ठीक है, तो बूटस्ट्रैप इसी यूज करते हैं, जैसे अभी आनंद सर ने आपको बताया। आप वहाँ पे बैठे हो, आपके पास 2 ऑप्शन है, या तो आप अपने घर पे सब्जी उगा लो, या फिर मार्केट से जाके आराम से खरीद लो, है ना।
ओके सर।
तो आप प्रेफर क्या करोगे, मार्केट से जाके खरीदना, या फिर 6 महीने वेट करना, अपने घर पे गेहूं उगाना, फिर उसको पानी आने देना, हर दिन खेती बाड़ी करना, क्या प्रेफर करोगे।
सर मार्केट।
मार्केट प्रेफर करोगे। वही बूटस्ट्रैप क्या करता है, आपने सब्जी उगाई, आप किसी ने सब्जी उगाई, बूटस्ट्रैप सपोज हमारा सेलर है, बहुत बड़ा सुपरमार्केट है, उसने सब्जी उगाई, हम वहाँ गए, सब्जी उठाई, हमें घर पे सपोज मटर पनीर बनाना है, तो मैं मटर लेके आ गया, वहाँ से मटर को मैंने थोड़ा सा फ्राई किया और अपने साथ यूज कर लिया। सेम बूटस्ट्रैप के साथ भी यही होता है, आप बूटस्ट्रैप लेते हो, उनको उठाते हो, थोड़ा सा चेंज करते हो, अपने कोड में यूज करते हो, आपका कोड बन जाता है। क्लियर हुआ थोड़ा।
हाँ सर, अब अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा मतलब कि क्लियर हुआ, जब सेशन देखेंगे तो और क्लियर हो जाएगा सर।
हाँ हाँ, कोई भी और डाउट हो बता देना।
ओके सर।
बट डिसएडवांटेज भी है, जैसे कि मार्केट से सब्जी लाते हैं तो अच्छी है नहीं अच्छी है हमें नहीं पता। उसी तरह बूटस्ट्रैप में भी सीएसएस में क्या होता है कि वो ऑलरेडी मेड सीएसएस होती है, तो अगर हमें अपने हिसाब से और उसको मॉडिफाई करना है तो हम वो नहीं कर पाते हैं।
उसके लिए हमें एक उसी डिव में एक अलग क्लास डिफाइन करनी होती है और उनकी प्रॉपर्टीज जो हमें चाहिए उसके अलावा भी वो डिफाइन करनी होती है, तो चीज़ें हो जाती हैं।
तो सर बेसिकली इसको यूज करने के लिए हमें बस वो सारी क्लासेस याद होनी चाहिए कि हाँ कौन सी क्लास लगानी है, कौन सी क्लास लगाने से क्या होगा, तब हमारा काम हो जाएगा सारी।
देखो सीन क्या होता है, ये क्लासेस काफी ज्यादा वास्ट है, अभी तुम लोगों ने पहली बार यूज किया तो तुम्हें अजीब लग रहा होगा। मैं तो 1 महीने लगातार यूज किया था, मेरे को तब भी याद नहीं हुआ था। पर जैसे जैसे तुम यूज करना स्टार्ट करते हो ना, तो धीरे धीरे तुम्हें आदत होती चली जाती है। जो इंपॉर्टेंट क्लासेस हुए, कोड हुआ, कंटेनर्स हुए, बटन्स हुए, वो आपको धीरे धीरे जल्दी जल्दी याद हो जाते हैं। और याद नहीं होते तो आपके पास हमेशा से बूटस्ट्रैप डॉक्स तो है ही। यहाँ पे जाओ, जॉन सा आपको कोड समझ नहीं आ रहा है, उस पर क्लिक करो। मेरे को जैसे ब्रेक पॉइंट समझ नहीं आ रहा है, मैं ब्रेक पॉइंट पे गया, देखा अच्छा इसका इतना है, आगे बढ़ गया। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट।
यस सर।
यस सर, ये सर डाउट्स है ही नहीं, आज सिंपल सा सेशन था सर, तो डाउट्स हैं।
और अभी बूटस्ट्रैप के बारे में अगला सेशन भी है, तुम तब उसमें और भी सारे बूटस्ट्रैप के बाकी कंपोनेंट्स के बारे में भी बता देंगे। तो एक्सप्लोर करो, डॉक्स में बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, खोजो, खुद ट्राई करो, धीरे धीरे सीख जाओगे।
यस सर।